Hi, my friends. Welcome back to your weekly card class from Maine. It is Monday. It is the Mondayest of Mondays. It's actually the first Monday in August. In case you're watching this in the future, it is Monday, August 4th, and it's Coast Guard Day. And that's a big day for me and my husband because he is a retired Coastie. He did 20 years in the Coast Guard. That is a fun fact. And we spent some time on the eastern seaboard over the last 20 years, some 20 years ago. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. All right, so I am Julie Maxon, Maine Stamper. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm here for your weekly card class from Maine. I'm just checking to make sure the tech is working. So, hi, I have missed you terribly. It's been weeks since we did a live card class from Maine. July disappeared. It's summertime, right? So, I have been enjoying some summertime time as well, and I would love to tell you that the few weeks that I took off, besides going to New York for my stamping retreat, that a couple weeks after that, I took off from Monday classes. I would love to say, guess what? I organized my craft room. Everything is clean and I've gone through all of my product, but the fact is I did not. So sadly, that is not true. Um, I don't know where the days went, to be honest with you. I mean, been obviously summertime, right? We're having a good time. I hope you guys are having a good summer too. But the exciting thing is back at it here today. This is, again, the first class I've done in a few weeks. So my tech and myself, we're having a little bit of a conversation here while I'm trying to get going. So welcome in. Please say hi when you can see and hear me. I've been babbling here for a minute. Hopefully over on YouTube, you guys enjoy my intros. They probably are a little bit longer for you unless you're fast forwarding. But anyway, hi all my friends on YouTube. I do pop my Facebook Lives over to YouTube for anyone that is not on Facebook and can watch it again later. Hi Tammy. Tammy is here. Hi Michelle. I hope you're doing well. You're in my prayers, Michelle, and I think about you all the time. So I hope that your summer is progressing well. Hi, Mom. My mother-in-law is on here. So that's great. I have a few friends and we're going to have a lot of fun. This is the Perfectly Pears Bundle class. And I love the pears. If you love the pears, if you love any pear stamp sets, this is not the first stamp set that Stampin' Up! Has done with pears. I think it's the third, actually. I meant to do a little research on that, and I'm pretty sure I bought all of them because I kind of like the pears. Now, have I used them all? Probably not. But I used this one, and I was really excited to try it out. So I've got some ink on my pear stamps. We're going to check it out together. We're going to get going because I am a few minutes late. Surprise. And we're going to get into our Perfectly Pears class. I also have a few announcements, so make sure you're still saying hi as you jump on. I'm going to transition over to my workspace. I look back through later to see who joined me, and I like to see you say hello to me. That's always kind of nice. I'm talking to you. Will you please talk to me? It just makes for more fun, right? Perfectly Pears card class. This is what we've got. We've got the Perfectly Pears bundle. We've got the stamp set, this is a fun stamp set. It is, first of all, it's two-step stamping. It's also distinctive stamps. These are trademarked to Stampin' Up. This is what these little kind of highs and lows, details right in the actual stamp itself, kind of grooved right in. And they give you some really cool texture all in one stamp. So you get some really awesome images. Perfectly Pears has obviously pears, but it also has a little bit of flower going on here as well. Our sentiments are congratulations. A good friend is a gift. Hello. Hello. Thank you, and friend. I said hello twice, mostly because I was saying hello to you. We have some great dies. So we've got, of course, the outline dies that are going to do your pears, your smaller duo of pears, your flowers. And then we've got some bonus dies. We have a couple of labels. So there's a longer one, a shorter one, and these work really well with the sentiments, like perfectly well, right? We're going to be doing that a little bit tonight. We've got this little kind of like hashtag or graphic kind of die that gives you these, that's kind of a really cool waffle cone look in case you're looking for something to add to your waffle cones. This reminds me of like waffle cone, and I usually go with food. So there we go. Now the flowers are interesting. You have two different flower dies. We're going to talk about what they look like as we die cut them as class goes on, but this is the bundle. It's a really nice bundle. It is an online exclusive that demonstrators were introduced to back in, I believe, in May, actually, when we were on the Disney trip. The Stampin' Up! Staff showed us how to use these, and I'm pretty sure I won the stamp set. while I was down there in Florida on the incentive trip, which was awesome. And then, of course, I had to get the dies because you have to have the matching dies. So Perfectly Pears, not an expensive bundle. I forgot to look it up. I want to say it might be like $45. It's not a super expensive bundle. Perfectly Pears card class. This is our class this week. With your order of $50, you're getting the 4 card kits that I'm going to share with you. Envelopes are included. You're getting emailed card recipes. You're also getting 10% in Stampin' Rewards. And I'm doing, in case you didn't know this is something new. And I just started it, I think today, yes, maybe yesterday, August 2nd. No, wait, I'm confused. It's very easy for me to, I've been confused all day. The Sweet Summer Send-Off Raffle Ticket, we're gonna talk about that in a minute, but the card class offer is good August 2nd through 8th. So here's your card kits. You can see that they're very pear-like colors, because of course the first color you think of when you think of pears is red, maybe brown. We've got some greens here. We've got some, again, some petal pink on this one, and then super pink on this one. So these are your pear cards, believe it or not. These are the card kits. There's all kinds of stuff in them, die cuts and embossed pieces and all kinds of good things. This is the 2025-2027 in color product sale, which starts tomorrow, 15% off. It is select products, anything that has the new in colors in it. You're going to get 15% off. So it's got inks, cardstock, designer series paper, embellishments, other products with the new in colors in them. Stampin' spots are one of the things that is on sale. I've kind of taken a peek at this. These are all while supplies last, so make sure you shop early because you want to get all of the good things. We're going to be using a couple of in-color products tonight. I'm really excited about this. This is a really great sale. It runs the whole month, but it starts tomorrow. Okay, this is, oh, I forgot about this. Bingo! Hey guys, guess what? We're doing a Sizzling Summer Cards and Bingo. This is in Herman, Maine on August 23rd. It's a couple Saturdays away. Card making, games, prizes, and more. I like to play some fun games, so this is a great time to join me. Doors are open at noon for my Stampin' Yard sale. This is something different. I'm actually going to have a whole bunch of my retired product there for sale. So come on down and check it out at noontime, and the bingo and card starts at 1 o'clock. I am taking early bird reservations through Friday this week. August 8th is the last day to get your early bird pricing, so let me know if you want to sign up for the Cards in Bingo event on the 23rd in Herman. And then this is what's going on. Sweet Summer Send-Off Celebration. This started today's the 4th. We just talked about this, Julie. Today's the 4th. It's Coast Guard Day. This actually started yesterday, just in case anyone ordered with me yesterday. Sweet Summer Send-Off Celebration. This is something new. So I'm running this the entire month of August. Well, basically the 3rd, which is yesterday, through the 31st. So all the way through the end of August, every $50 you spend on Stampin' Up! Products in my store, you're getting a ticket, a raffle ticket. And the raffle ticket is good for a $100 shopping spree in my online stamping store. And everybody that participates this month is going to receive a special PDF card recipe because you guys are all awesome. So everyone's going to get something, but one person's going to get a shopping spree that's going to be good for the month of September. And that's the month that we're going to have new online exclusives. We're going to have the Fall Mini. So it's going to be a really great time to get the newest products and $100 of them for free if you're my grand prize winner. I'm really excited about that because I love to give things away. All right, let me just make sure you guys are still hanging out with me. Hi Patty, hi Jess. Jess ran to get emergency chocolate. I think I need that too. Hi Janice, thank you for welcoming me in. Oh, hi Cindy, I miss you so much. I can't wait to see you. Cindy signed up for bingo and I am super excited. I have checked out who has signed up already for bingo, so I'm like really excited to see a few of my friends that I haven't seen in a while. All right, so we're on Perfectly Pears. We're going to start with this card that screams green pear, right? Like I think this card right here, if you think about pears, probably the first color you think of is, I'm going to say probably yellow, maybe green. Who thinks about yellow and green pears? Is that your pear color? But this is a little bit different. Actually, this kind of looks like it would more be inclined to be a caramel apple card. I know a thing about caramels because I live in Carmel and I like sugar. So this is our card kit. I'm going to show you what we're making and we're going to just jump right into it. We're going to be doing a little work along the way because I didn't have time to do all of the things, right? So we're going to do a thank you card with a red pear. So I know that red pears maybe isn't your first thought about how you might make a pear card, but this is a red pear, and I know that they're a thing. Sometimes they even look a little bit purpley, so I'm thinking we could probably get away with Blackberry Bliss and do the same. All right, so let's get going on your card parts in pieces. You're getting a die cut from Textured Notes. This is a rectangle die. I love these. I'm actually using that one a couple of times. Now I wanted to show you the paper in here. Okay, this is woven textures. So if you really wanted to do something different, you could do something a little different too. You've got this really cool kit. I love to bring you one papers that you can like flip over and maybe even use the other side. I'm pretty sure we're going to use red on this one, but I wanted to talk to you real quick about two-tone cardstock. This is my new favorite thing in the world, so you're going to be seeing it probably in almost every kit. I'm going to be sending it to you. First of all, it's lighter weight, so when I mail out my packages, mail out my cards, I'm not spending as much postage, and we all know postage is expensive. So this is a lifesaver right here. Also, two-tone means you get two different colors. So you're going to get a darker shade and you're going to get a lighter shade. You get to pick which side you want up. And then lastly, this is less expensive than cardstock. So all around it's a win-win-win. Now on this card, I used the darker red. So hopefully, I don't know if you can see the difference here. So this is the dark red right here. And if I flip it and my camera adjusts a little bit, there's like a lighter tone to it. So I use the darker shade on the red. And this is the pecan pie. So this is the dark color, which would more match our card base. And then this is the lighter shade, which is kind of a more caramely color. And I used the lighter side on this one. So I went dark and then light. So just in case you're wondering which sides I used, you're going to get these at home in your card kits and you can decide which sides you want to use. There's almost a sheen to them. I feel like it's like a little bit shimmery, which I also find fascinating. All right, we're going to start with our designer series paper, and this is actually regular cardstock. And when you get this, you're going to feel the cardstock difference, right? You can in your hands, right? When you touch the material, when you're shopping, does anyone do that while they're shopping for clothes? I do that too. You go by and you have to, I don't know why, but I like to touch things. I like to feel the cottons and the wools and the fuzzy things and the, all the polyester blends, and I like to feel them. So this regular cardstock is a lot thicker than the two-tone cardstock. So you're gonna get a feel for it. Let me just go with that. You're gonna get a feel for it when you get this at home. Now somewhere in my craft room, I may or may not have some twine, some linen thread. Here we go. Now I didn't cut this for the kit because I actually didn't measure it yet, but I'm going to send you a whole bunch of this. And by a whole bunch, I mean, first of all, we put our cherry cobbler cardstock onto our designer series paper like so. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a bunch of this. Yours would be cut, actually. So I just have to figure out. I have to figure out like how much am I going to put in your little card kit. We're going to wrap this. We're going to wrap it twice. So I'm holding it on the back, kind of over here on, let's call this the left side. Holding it up here so I have a little bit of a tail to work with. And then I'm going to wrap it around once and then twice. So we're going to come this way. And then basically, yours is already going to be cut for you. And you're going to have about this much right here. Did I cut the right one? I might have cut the wrong string. I did. This is how my day has been going. Tammy can attest to this. Actually, my husband can attest to this. I left for work this morning, went out to the garage. I have a detached garage where my car is nicely parked. And I went out to the garage and realized I forgot my purse. So I had to come back into the house to get my purse because my keys were in my purse. My wallet was in my purse. So that's kind of how my day started today. And I'm normally not like off, like I'm normally not so off on a Monday, but I have to tell you, this one happens to be the Mondayest of Mondays. Now I probably needed longer string here. So we're going to see if this can work. I'm going to I'm going to have a teeny tiny bow here. I cut it like maybe a little bit short, and I didn't do this really well. So let's just, but we're going to go for it. It actually worked. I have a little bow here. It's just a tiny one, but it works. I'm just straightening that up a little bit so we can get that on there. So there it is. Ta-da! A teeny tiny bow. Much different from this one. It's a little bit sideways, but that's just kind of how I'm feeling right now. So I think everyone can probably relate to being a little bit sideways. Now, if you wanted to tape that a little bit on the back side so it stays secured, just grab some tear and tape. You can even kind of pull it one way or another to tauten it. Does that make sense? And then there you go. So you've got this little wrap here. You've got a little bow on the left side. It is pretty cute, I have to say. For all that work, it worked out. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put some adhesive on there, and then this is going to go on our card front and make sure it opens the right way. And this is going to center right on here. So this piece is cut a little bit smaller than your first layering mat, just so that you can see more of the pecan pie. I like to mix up my sizes, if you will. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue together. This is the hard part, right? We're going to glue a whole bunch of these things together. I did mention that I wanted lighter and darker on those, so we're going to put some adhesive on that darker side, and we're going to just layer these together. And then we're going to go ahead and add on our Textured Notes die. Now, if you wanted to stamp directly on here, you could, but we are going to go ahead and stamp and then die cut our pear, so we can have that just like so. So this can actually go on. I feel like my cord, I feel like my microphone cord is choking me. Oh my goodness. Problems and problems today. All right, I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals, and then we're going to work on our pear, our delicious red pear, which probably goes really well with chocolate, I'm thinking, in case anybody, you know, besides Jess needed to run and grab some emergency chocolate. I feel like I might need some emergency chocolate by the time I get done with this class today, because I just feel like I'm scrambling a little bit. It is just, you take a few weeks off and then you forget what to do and how to do it. That is a fact. I was like, I'm on like vacation brain. All right, so my method on putting dimensionals on, it may look odd, right? But I'm trying to keep a space here where I think the twine is going to go, just so that it kind of goes around everything. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. But that is the method of why my dimensionals looked a little bit odd. And then we're just going to put that on there. We're going to leave a little bit of show over here for our little piece of cherry cobbler cardstock with the twine and all that good stuff. And I'll probably put my sentiment piece a little bit farther that way so it doesn't look quite so interesting. Let's just say that it's interesting. All right, in your kit you still have 2 more pieces. You have a piece that you can die cut and stamp, and I think I die cut this little label. This is what this little label looks like. I'm going to attempt to stamp that without die cutting it. Let's see how that goes. But we do have to stamp our pear, and this is 2-step stamping. So we're going to be using the outline and the inside of the pear. You can see the first color I dipped my pear in was red ink. And that may be odd, but that's what I did. Real red, to be honest. Real red. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do the outline first. I did it the opposite earlier, and I just didn't have really good luck. But that's okay. It's going to work either way. You know what? There may be room to... We're going to get the pear and the leaf topper on here, so that's what we're going to do. Now this one, we're just going to ink this up. You may notice, I don't know if you can tell through the camera, that there's darker ink on one side, and that's meant to be. It's meant to have darker and lighter ink. We're going to just put this right over our outline area, and if it's not perfect, I'm okay with that. So hopefully you can see it looks kind of like splotchy, right? Meant to be. Those white spots, meant to be. It's all good. So don't panic. Don't think like, oh my gosh, it's not working. Something's wrong with my stamp. I do have to clean these up a little bit in between because we are playing with pears today, and there's only so many in this stamp set, so we gotta make use of all of them. All right, I have some red ink on my block, so I'm just gonna grab a baby wipe, clean that up. Okay, good. Hopefully that stays off my fingers, all of the good stuff. Oh, let's see. Yep, we're good. This, again, real red. The first color you think of when you think of pears. And then we're going to jump into pecan pie. Also a great color, right? Like, leaves should be pecan pie, says everyone, right? But sometimes I like to play with different color. We got the outline here, and then we're going to just go ahead and try to line up at as best as possible. And that didn't work out the best, but it's going to be okay. We're gonna adjust that a little bit as we go. All right, so there's our stamping, 2-step stamping. I think I'm gonna need to like clean this off again one more time. But we're not done with our ink. First, we're gonna die cut, and then we're gonna doctor. So if you know me at all, you know that I love to doctor up. Oh, I didn't stamp my sentiment. That's okay. We're going to get to it. All right, bringing in the die cutting machine, looking for the pear outline die and the leaf outline die. So these are great You got plenty of room here on your cardstock and your kit to line everything up. And we're going to just back this up, run this through. And I'm going to die cut them both at the same time. I kind of hold on to that a little bit as it goes to hope that it doesn't slide on me too much through the machine. And you're going to get a better crack at it if your plates are kind of flat. Now they can be all dinged up like this, but flat is like kind of the key. If they're bowed too much, then the dies really slide around, and that's when things get super crazy. All right, so you can see here that this looks completely exactly like my, no it doesn't actually, right? You can see the white line around all of this, and we're going to fix that right now. We're going to bring back in our inks. We're going to start with Real Red, and I love to do some ink doctoring. So we're going to just go ahead through here. I don't want the outline of the white. Now, if you like that, you can definitely keep it there. Usually I am stamping crooked and then die cutting crooked, and there's more white than I want to see. So first thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit of red, and to me, I'm already much happier with that. So there's the red, but we're going to go a little bit farther, and we're going to bring in some pecan pie. The first thing we're going to do, of course, is our stem, because that's already pecan pie. So again, with the white, a little bit much white for me. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Now there's going to be a little bit of white in some spots, and that's fine. Like, I'm not trying to get rid of every little bit of white, but it does look, I think, a little bit more interesting when you can burnish the edges a little bit and have kind of just some interest there. So there's that. Okay, now we're not done with pecan, because we're going to come back through with our pear, and we're going to actually brown this up a little bit. Now this brown is it's going to look kind of like burgundy-ish black. It's going to give it just a different tinge. I'm going to be heavy on this side and maybe a little bit lighter on the other. I'm not going to even go all the way around to the other side, but you can see here. And feel free to, you know, add more toward the middle if you want to, but there it is. There's our lovely pear, and I think that it really pops now, and that is Real Red ink and pecan pie ink on our pear right there. So there we go. So all we have to do is add this back onto our card, and I just put this on flat. Now keep in mind that your stem and your pear need to both fit on here, so don't put your pear too high on your rectangle, or you won't have room to fit both. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick the stem part right kind of in here. There's like a little spot in the pear that looks like it would be perfect to have the stem kind of sit into it, just like that. Look at how cute. And then we have our congratulations. Oh no, I did thank you. Congratulations or thank you are both going to fit on here. Let me bring in pecan pie and our sentiment, and I'm looking for the one that says thank you, and all I'm seeing is, okay, this one. Here we go. Thank you. Here we go. Thank you is going to come on here. Oh, I dipped that really well in the ink. Sigh, it's a little high. It could be better, but we're going to go with it here tonight, because I can always I can pull that off later and adjust, right? So you get the idea, and I rocked my block right into the ink pad. This is this extra ink all along the top. I rocked my block in, so that if you ever have that problem, it's just because you're rocking your block, and I do it too, not on purpose. But it does happen. These things do happen. All right, so this little thank you is going on here with some mini dimensionals, and I'm going to be using a mix of the large and small dimensionals tonight. I recommend having both on hand, because they're awesome. It's awesome to have the dimensionals. I have big pieces, little pieces. I have all kinds of pieces. The minis here, because this is such a skinny strip, 3 of these fit really nicely along this piece of the, you know, otherwise you've got the big ones, you can cut them down, but I'm usually in a hurry. I'm usually in more than a hurry, but there it goes, stuck to my finger. Okay, so we're gonna put this right over here. I might put that just over a little bit closer to my teeny tiny bow, this little tiny bow. It is cute though. I do have to say I like it. All right, so there we go. And all we need is a little bit of bling. Now for this one, I chose to add in something in the brown kind of neutral tones. This is adhesive back textured dots. So I'm gonna just grab some of these, pop these on here. There are 2 different sizes, which is always nice. So you can kind of get that that little triangle built up with, you know, things that are bigger and smaller. And there we go. Our first card. What do you guys think? Do you love it? It is so not green and yellow. It is so not pear-like, I think. I mean, there are red pears, right? But it's definitely something that's different. And because it's different, it just works really well. This is a really great fall color combination too, right? The pecan, the cherry, we're getting into those richer, deeper tones. So this is a great layout that you could even use with different designer series paper and make your yellow and green pears if you wanted to. So there is card number 1 in our assembly of the day. I'm just going to check back in really quickly. Make sure you guys are all hanging out with me, okay, before I jump into card number 2. Hi, Lisa. It's good to see you on in here. Okay. And Jess says she likes the 2 steps. Hi, Julie. It's a lovely pear, she says. You guys are the best. Oh, I love the pear emojis. Okay, we're on Facebook having fun with pear emojis. That is awesome. Okay, so card number 1 is all done. We're going to move on to card number 2. Now, this one may look a little more green. So this one may be a little more pear-like. And this one is going to feature, again, some two-tone paper. We're going to start out with an old olive card base. And we've got some two-tone in here. Now this two-tone happens to be Mossy Meadow. So I want to show you, this is Old Olive. This is, oh, let's see. Yeah, we've got 2 tones right here. This is the darker mossy and this is the lighter mossy. So hopefully you can see there's like really 3 shades in here. So it's kind of fun to have different shades of color. We've got a little bit of Cajun Craze. We've got a die cut circle from Spotlight on Nature Dies. This one kind of looks mostly like the plate, which I think works really well for the pears. And we have some Timeless Plaid DSP. Okay, so these are the same. No, just kidding. These are the same. These 2 right here, same pattern, which you can flip one over if if you choose to do so. These, and then this is the different pattern, but you can see that they go together, right? So I feel like pears are fall fruits. This much I know. I do have some pear trees. They have not produced fruit yet, which kind of makes me sad, but I am waiting for the day that all of my pear trees have some lovely fruit. And we are going to go ahead and layer some of these things together. Now here again, you can decide on the darker or lighter colors of the two-tone cardstock. These are going to layer together just like this. Of course, if you wanted to use this color, you could. And I've got these laid out like this, but I may switch it up. Now let me find my card so I can show you what we're making, because right now you're thinking, what are we doing with all of these parts and pieces? All right, so here's what we're making. We're making a hello card, and we're going to use the 2 little pears right here. And you can see our designer series paper, you can see this other pattern of paper and all of the greens. So it works really well together. The Cajun picks up this kind of more petal pink light. We'll call it Cajun light, right? So some Cajun light right there. And when you get your card kit at home, you really get to decide, do you want the darker green of the Mossy Meadow facing up, or do you want the lighter? Now on my first card, I used the light. So we're going to do opposites. I know, this tears me up right here, right? Like seriously, with paper and we're tearing. I could, in theory, flip one of these over. That's why I love to play with paper. And make it completely different, right? Like we could have this extra little piece right here off to the side. I might do it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I usually commit like right before I glue everything down. So the first thing I'm going to do though is I am going to put this side down and I'm going to put it on the darker side of this two-tone cardstock. And the two-tone cardstock gives you so much more color play, which is awesome. Oh, here's my little hashtag all cut out. Let me move that aside. We're going to talk about that guy in a minute. All right, this is going to go down onto the card base. So this card right here kind of looks like it's a fun fold card, but it's actually, I'm calling it a faux fun fold card. The faux means fake. It is a fake fun fold, and that's one of my favorite ways to do a fun fold, is to fake it, right? It looks like it would open interestingly, but it doesn't. It's just a regular A2 size card. But it has so much more interest than, if everything went down flat, which is why we are switching it up. Speaking of switch it up, we're going to try it, and then you guys can tell me which one you like better. So I'm going to put this side up, this little checkerboard side. And again, I have the darker color of the Mossy Meadow two-tone cardstock. Now, before this goes down, don't glue it, Julie. Julie's got to remember not to glue it. All right, we're going to look for some more dimensionals. I got to grab my sheets. Okay, this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop a whole bunch on here. I'm thinking 5. I think I did 5 last time as well. So this is like a long skinny strip, and I want it to be pretty well supported. So I put 5 dimensionals. These are the bigger ones. So again, it's good to have that mix of small and big. And I think I have those all off of there. Nope, just kidding. Okay, so this is going to come over here on the side, but it's going to be, I'm going to turn it this way. Sometimes it's easier for me to turn it in a different direction. And this is going to line up on here. We're still matting and layering, right? So kind of like so, but now it's heavier, it's poofier, it's bigger. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not. It feels like I could open it this way, but I really can't. It's like a trick card. All right, so there is the front layer right there. I wanted to share that with you. Now we're gonna get onto this layering, and I think I'm gonna keep the, well, let's see, do I want the darker side? Maybe I do want the darker side. I think I do. I think I do. I love these game day decisions. This is what you call a game day decision. We're making the card right now, game on, and you have to decide, do you want light or dark decisions, right? It's just more fun that way, to have that creativity where you can choose one or the other. You don't have to just, it doesn't have to always be the same. All right, now here's where we're going to get tricky putting this down too. I need to grab some more dimensionals. A new sheet. Look at this. I'm so excited. All right, this is going to come down onto the card right here in the middle. However, I don't need dimensionals everywhere, right? So I don't need dimensionals on this whole side because it's going to sit on top of this one. I'm going to flip it over. Sometimes it's better for me visually to flip it over. Oh, I lost that right there. Okay, sometimes getting these first few off of here is a little bit wonky. All right, we're going to go ahead with like this little 5 combination here of dimensionals, and then we're going to put some glue on this piece right here. So when we flip this back over, the glue is going to be on the dimensionalized section, and the other dimensionals are going to be on the section that's flat. And then we have a nice even playing field here. And this is where our hello is going to go on. So you can see here how this design is set up. And again, even if you're not using the pears, you could substitute in something else with the card set. You can use these designs for all kinds of stuff. We're going to bring in 3 ink colors. Let me grab out the ones we're going to use for this card. We're using espresso, old olive, and crushed curry. So we're going to start with the espresso and hello. I'm saying hello again. So hi everybody that's watching and hasn't said hi yet. I'm talking to you. Hello. It's good to have you on here. It's been a few weeks since I've been live doing a card class, so I feel like I am just a little bit miscombobulated. I don't know why. Hey, while we have the espresso open, let's do this. You've got a piece of basic beige in your card kit, and we're going to go ahead and stamp this really cute little duo of pears. Like super cute. We're doing that in espresso, and I can set that aside because I don't even need that one anymore, so we're not going to do that. Okay, so that's going there. Now we have these things. Now let's do something with green, right? The color of pears. You would think there'd be more green in tonight's class, but there's really not as much green. Do I need this? No, I don't think I do need this. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, in your stamp set, there is a little stamp that looks like splotchies. It's like little splotchies. It's meant to go on pears, but we're going to put it in on our circle here. We're going to just kind of decorate this a little bit with old olive just to add some interest. So you can see it here on the card. I'm kind of keeping it off this way because the pears are going to come over here. But you know what? If you feel like stamping a lot, sometimes it just feels good, right? So stamp away, get some green on there, kind of like that little splatters. And it's just the tiniest little stamp, but it does give you some cute imagery. All right, let's see. So that's good for our hello. You're going to die cut your Cajun that's in your card kit with this hashtag, and this is what it looks like when you bring it out of the die. It's a really cute little feature here, and this is going to come on here. You can just glue that on. I'll do that in just a minute. We'll get that glued on there. I'm trying to get all of these things going, and then we're going to finish our 2-step stamping. So this again is 2-step stamping with a twist because the leaves don't actually have 2-step stamping, just the pear image. So this is the dual pear image, and I'm going to ink it up first of all in crushed curry. So we're going to put some crushed curry on here, and then we're going to bring in the old olive with a dauber, and we're going to just kind of catch the edges of both of our pears with a little bit of green. Not too far in. If you do too far in, you're basically going to have green pears, right? So just a little bit on the edges, and then we're going to go ahead and line this up, two-step stamping, and as you're putting it down, you can kind of see through the clear block that it has that little bit of green along wherever we caught some of that green in there. So there's our green for our pears. It's like the perfect little bit of just a little bit of green there. And then what we're going to do to color in the stem and the leaves, I'm just bringing in Old Olive Stampin' Blends. So you could use whatever you wanted to at this point to color these. There is not a stamp that does two-step stamping over top of the leaves. Now keep in mind that we did stamp this in Early Espresso. So Early Espresso, this ink that we normally use for our stamping, could run a little bit as you're coloring it with your Stampin' Blends. So just be careful, I go around the lines a little bit, these center lines, and I'm just going to kind of cover them over with the darker color here anyway. I'm going to do the stem as well. So just be careful and keep in mind that it might run a little bit, but it's okay. It looks kind of nice and artistic when you're all said and done. So there is our little pears. How cute is this little pear? We do have to die cut this because this is actually going on our card today. So we're going to bring in the die cutting machine, and I'm going to grab that back out again. There's like a little fly in here that's causing me some ruckus. It's the season, right? And I swear I don't have any food in my craft room. I'm pretty sure I don't have food in my craft room. I could be lying. There could be food in here. All right, so we are going to use our outline die here on this pear duo. I feel like it might have it's shifted a little bit. So we're going to start over. We're going to try this again. I'm going to get this on here one more time. Okay. Flat plate. Here we go. And here is going to be our pears. And I used the basic beige just to have a different background. So think about using different cardstock colors. It doesn't have to always be white. I think we tend to think that if we're coloring something and doing some extra stamping, that white is what we should be using, but this beige works really well with these colors also. And I feel like I have just lost my little hashtag guy. I wonder where he went. This is interesting. Well, I'm going to just go ahead and glue this down and kind of look around my craft room here at the same time because it was just here. I'm putting this on here. Now this circle fits really well in this square. Circle in the square. And we may be cutting a new hashtag because I don't know what happened to my little hashtag. I probably picked it up with my die cutting machine and it just probably went somewhere. All right. So we're going to do that next because you love to watch me die cut. I just know you do. All right, so remember that little paper I showed you? And I said, hey, this is in your kit and you're going to just die cut this little hashtag. This is actually the step you would be taking to do so. So here we go. Now, you know, as soon as I finish die cutting this, I will find the one that's probably, oh, yep, there it is. It's on my floor. Is not that always the way, right? Like that is always the way. All right, so this is a little bit messy. There's some parts and pieces that are going to come off here, but you can brush them out pretty easily. And here is the hashtag. And probably I was just meant to show you like that's how you would die cut that. Not that that's a hard thing to do, but I did find the one on the floor. Here it is. Look at that. Now we have two. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness. All right, let's bring our card in. This is card number 2. We are going to get through this together. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I feel like I'm a hot mess today, but I am back. I know things will just get better. Now I'm just putting a tiny little bit of glue on here. You don't have to glue down every little section. It does seem kind of more difficult when you have all of these open spaces. So I just add a little bit, and the it's just sticky enough to work. Now I'm going to put the duo pears on with some dimensionals. So we've got these guys, pop these guys up a little bit. And it's also going to catch the end of this little tag. I feel like I have some, a little piece of my cutaway there. Okay, yep, there we go. All right, so this is this pear right here, right? It's going to catch the end of your little hashtag die cut so that it's, you know, not going to be in danger of falling off, at least on one end. And then you're getting some of this beautiful basic beige ribbon to make a nice bow, which I did take the time to do because I felt like that was required today. So I made that little extra bow. So there we go, card number 2. How cute is this? This is more pear-like, I'm assuming, in color, in your opinion. Card number 2, we've got the duo pears here. And you may be noticing, you might be thinking, wait a minute, Julie, there's all kinds of paper that goes with the pear suite, and there's embellishments that go with the pear suite. I'm actually not using them today. I am using this bundle for my August Card Maker Club. So Card Maker Club, you're going to be making more pear cards, and your card kits are going to have all of the regular pear paper. It's going to have the embellishments, the ribbons, so it'll be more pear-like. But today I'm showing you different papers that you can use because you may already have these papers in your craft room. This happened to be the Forever Plaid. I'm using the embellishments Opal Rounds Assortment, and I'm using the more yellow tone, kind of these soft buttery toned embellishments on this card. Again, there's 2 different sizes. So I just kind of gravitate toward whatever I have around me in my craft room, and I felt like these worked really well on here. And you know what? I didn't think I would like it, but I think I like this one better. I think I like the change of the color. I feel like it really just kind of pops. So here we go. I need opinions, please. So the original one is very monotone, I guess you could say, right? We've used the same paper. Do you guys like the switched up version? I think the switched up version is pretty sweet. I think I like this one better. It really does have some pop to it. So there we go, card number 2. I'm looking to see, and I know that my camera looks like it's farther away today. I again, just getting back into the filming here. It looks like I probably could have done a better job setting up my camera today, but here we go. So Jess says she likes the checkered strip on card 2. Me too, Jess. Number 1 is a keeper. Oh, Cindy likes the tiny bow. Oh, that's awesome. That was from the other card. That's so cool. All right, cool. I just wanted to see what you're thinking, but I think I really like this one. And I haven't done my photo shoot of my cards yet, so when I advertise this class this week, I'm probably going to take a picture of that one because I like it better. How funny is that? I mean, that's just wild to me. Okay, that is card number 2. We're going to switch into card number 3 now before we do our grand finale card. So card number 3, and this one's going to be very heavy on white. So if you kind of like a cleaner, simpler look to a card, this is it. We've got some, so thick white card base, because I do the thick white. I'm going to just take some stuff out of there that's inside. Thick white cardstock, you've got another layer of white. Look at that. This is two-tone paper. So this is with the dotted circles embossing folder. If it comes to you and it has some white cracks in it, that is meant to be. This is two-tone paper. So you can see that it's a little bit lighter on one side than the other. And this has a white core. So sometimes the white will show through. Now, if you wanted to sand this or you could even sponge this, you could get some different looks to this as well. But this is part of your card kit. You've got a little bit of oat olive, some petal pink, ooh, some flowers that kind of snuck around, and then this is it, right? We've got a little bit of white twine, so this is gonna be a really sweet card. We're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna grab out the card so I can show you, because we really need to see this one to appreciate the glory of, that's just so pretty. I really like this one. I really like how this one turned out. So we're gonna do something interesting with our embossed two-tone cardstock. And when you do this, you can see the two tones, right? So you've got the lighter shade coming forward and the on top of the darker. Now, if you wanted to do it the opposite way, you could. You just have the inverted circles, and then you would be folding it this way for the darker circles. But I'm definitely going to go. I'm going to keep this one on the front and fold this one backwards. So we could do that right now. You're just going to take this, make sure you're using it so that it is matted along the bottom and the sides. So you can see here you've got about 1 inch or so on this white mat that's going to go onto your card base. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take the top left corner and we're going to kind of fold it backwards, and you can manipulate it till you get to the end, this little crease right here on the top right. You can kind of fold it so that it works about flushly, right? And there's no like right or wrong. You could score this if you wanted to. You could get super fancy, but the reality is you're just going to slowly kind of push that into play. You don't have to like be super forceful with it. Eventually it'll go into its little position right there. And I'm going to recommend, if you're going to use your bone folder to help secure this this crease, do it from the back side and just kind of gently, because you don't want to pop all these little embossed bubbles, because that's what you would be doing. You'd be pushing it down. But by pushing on the back side, you're not really destroying the front side, which is what you're going to see when we glue it onto our card base, just like that. How cool is this? I love this look. Now, before you put this down though, don't do that yet. We're going to actually stamp a pear behind, and then we're going to do another pear that's going to come along on the front. This will be for our front pear that we're going to die cut, but we have to do our back pear first. Now, we're not using the outline like we did in the first card. So if you watched the first card, there was the outline, and then we filled it in with a two-step stamping. We're just using this part right here, and I kind of like this look almost better. So we're going to use some ink. Yes, we are. We're going to use Flirty Flamingo and Daffodil Delight. So those are the colors we're using, with Petal Pink. So and some Old Olive, right? So different color combination, but I do love some plays on color. So the first thing we're going to do is ink up our big pear in the daffodil. So there we go, lots of daffodil. And then we're going to add some Flirty Flamingo with a sponge dauber. And we're going to do similar to the card we just did. We're going to just come along the edges and a little bit. And I find it's easier to start on the edge and kind of go off. So off the edge, right? That way you're not pushing it in. Because if you were to push it in toward the center, that's where you get a little bit aggressive with the pink ink. Okay, so now this is all inked up and ready to go. We're doing an approximation. So we're going to say that this is our white layer. This is where our pretty embossed piece is going to go. And we're going to put this approximately, and I'm holding this up over top, right? I'm not putting it down yet. Approximately here, and then I'm going to move my paper out of the way and I'm going to stamp. So it's just going to give me my approximate. So here we go. We've got that on there. And then this is going to come on over top just like this. So the pears are kind of coming out of this little pocket or sleeve, if you will. Now, while we're still playing with our pear, which, by the way, please ooh and ah over that for just a second. Doesn't that one look delicious? This is how I want to eat my pears. I want them to be really yellow, maybe a little bit of pink. We know that they're nice and juicy. Before we do our next pear, because we're going to repeat the process, clean your stamp off, because you're using two different tones of ink, and you don't want to put the pink ink into your yellow ink pad. So we're going to start all over. We're going to do the same thing. So a little bit more on the daffodil. We're going to grab some more Flirty with our sponge dauber. And you can do all kinds of combinations with your pears. You can do lots of different yellows, greens, reds, as you saw earlier, right? And then we're going to go ahead and put our pear down here. And there it is, just like that. So there is our pear. And it changes color when it dries. It's going to dry a little bit lighter. So you can see when you first ink something, the ink is really wet and it's saturating the paper. So it takes a minute for it to dry. I should say a couple of minutes, really. It takes a little bit for it to dry, and then it'll lighten up and change colors. All right, we can put this one away. We are going to stamp on this label. So now this is a label from the Textured Notes dies. I'm not going to pick it up because I can't seem to pick it up right now. So you're getting that die cut coming to you. A good friend is a gift. Fits really nicely in here. And I'm going to ink this up in Flirty Flamingo and just center this. This, again, photopolymer stamps are our friends, right? So a good friend is a gift. And this just works really well. Flirty Flamingo, Petal Pink. For some reason, I didn't think they would work well, but they do. They work really nicely. Now you've got two more pieces of cardstock here for your card kit. You may be wondering, what am I going to do next? You're going to take the, I love this branch with the leaves, and you're going to die cut your Old Olive, and then you're going to try out these little flowers right here. So you've got this little single die that's got 5 flowers in it, and then you've got a strip of, again, 5 flowers. These are the same shape. So you're going to go ahead and pop this onto your Petal Pink, And then when you're all done, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have your green stem. Now the die that has the 5 petals together, when you die cut it, all of the petals come out in one little clump, which I love. Actually, I like this. I prefer this than the 5 loose ones. Now, obviously we want the loose ones too, but the loose ones are a little bit harder to work with, right? Because they're tiny, they're teeny tiny flowers, but we're gonna make it all work out beautifully. So let's go ahead and continue on to this card. We've got all our parts and pieces. Oh wait, we have to die cut this. I'm just kidding. We're not quite as ready to continue on as I thought. We're gonna go ahead and die cut this. So let's bring in die cutting machine. And on a good class night, I would have these things pre-stamped, pre-die cut, and then I would say, look, ta-da, by the power and the magic of the television and the show, it's already done. But here we go. We're doing some actual work tonight. This is like a Monday of work. But it also just shows that it doesn't take long to do these things, and I love this color combination. So again, that's Daffodil and Flirty Flamingo. Just a nice little bit of orange, pinkish orange on that pear. Okay, so here's we have everything we need now for our card. Hopefully you guys can still see everything. Checking to see. Okay, I see. I'm just reading. Okay, you guys are like giving me some good feedback. I love it. All right, so we're going to put this down first. We are going to add some adhesive here onto the back. We're going to, once again, I'm going to separate this from the card base so you can actually see it. We're going to mat that, bottom, right, left. And then we're going to actually add a little bit of adhesive here along this flap. And then we're going to fold this over, and that will help to hold that down, which is what we want. Okay, so we're holding that down. Next, we're going to bring in our stem. And we're just going to kind of figure out where it's going to come here. So I've caught the first little crook in the stem here, right along about where the pear top is. So that worked out really, really nicely. Kind of coming across the top. We're just going to add a little bit of adhesive. My adhesive is gunking up here in between cards. All right, pick this back up again. Now there are some little slits in this leaf, so just be careful that you're not over gluing, right? Because it'll ooze out. Don't need a lot. And I did not do anything on the stem either. I'm like, that is not necessary. So again, we're going to go ahead and put that on there, just like so. So our little leaf is coming over and around. Now this pear right here, we're going to get tricky with our placement of it, because we want it to kind of come up here again against the stem. And I know that I'm going to have maybe a dimensional or so right there. I wasn't very careful. I could probably have gotten another one in there. Yeah, so we're going to do a couple dimensionals right there to catch it. I would like this one to move down. Would it do that nicely? Please, thank you. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, good, good. So that moved down a little bit, and then I'm going to put some glue on the bottom of my pear, because the bottom of the pear is going to hit my two-tone cardstock. So here we go. We're going to just pop this right here. Arrange your pears artistically. You are like the fruit master on this card. I love this. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and add some of our cute little flowers. I chose to take this one clump of flowers and put them right over here toward the end. Now I realize, and you guys realize, that we don't have blossoms and full grown fruit on the tree at the same time, but this is paper art and we get to be artistic. And I felt like adding a little bit of pink at the top just looked really cute. Now you're going to have extra flowers. You're not going to need them. I mean, of course, go for it. If you guys want to add all of the flowers, add all of the flowers. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive right down there. And we're going to pop that one on. Hopefully it'll stay. I think I have glue coming up through the little opening. So just keep in mind there are little openings there. Maybe I might have to add a little more glue here because I overshot where the glue should be. So just a little bit on one section of it is probably enough to hold that down. So we've got two little flowers there, so you can see a little flowers. You'll have some extra ones as well. I did put the sentiment on with embellishments, so I'm going to just throw a couple of them on there, and I chose to put it right here on the the corner that comes down, just like so. Of course, you can move it around wherever you want it to go. I just thought it looked really cute. They were kind of accenting the artistic flair here of our embossed two-tone cardstock. All right, so this is going to come right about here. It also helps to like bridge kind of that gap between the pear that's popped up and the pear that's stamped on the background paper, right? So that looks really cute. Okay, this whole thing is going to come on the card. Now you could just glue this down if you want to, but I recommend dimensionals because it just makes such a difference when you see those cards. And here's what I recommend with your dimensionals. I'm flipping through for the right thing. I don't know if you knew this or not, but when you have the big dimensionals, the outside edges are thinner. This is an outside edge. This is a pack of small dimensionals. The outside edge is really thick. I don't understand the math on that, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to utilize a whole bunch of these bigger chunks of dimensionals. This is one of my favorite ways to use these up. And because we're putting down a big background piece, we're just going to layer a whole bunch of these on here, and it covers up so much more surface, and then you don't have to use quite as many of the shaped dimensionals. And then I always feel good about, like, I'm using up my dimensionals, of course, right? We're never going to throw these away. We're going to use these. But also, I feel good about the fact that, like, if I use a million billion of these, I don't quite feel as guilty. Wow, that's just peeling off really weirdly. Is that not going to work on that one? Oh my gosh, there it goes. I don't feel as guilty about using like lots of them because I feel like, no, these are just, you know, the throwaway scrap edges. The edges on this one are not happy though. I can tell you that right now. I should have just forgotten that part. So, you know, usually this works really nicely. In most situations, this works really nicely. All right, I'm going to struggle with this one last end right here. Okay, there we go. There we go. So I've got these really big sections of dimensionals, and this is going to go onto my card front. And by popping up that layer, it just adds a lot more elegance, I feel like. Some of these I got the backings off already. There we go. Okay, just make sure you remember which way it opens. And then you can pop this on here. I love the white on white. Let me know if you like the white on white too. I feel like it's just so clean and pretty. Last thing we're going to do is a little bow. You're going to get some white twine in your card kit. So just make a little bow. I did not make the bow ahead with the twine. Those are usually pretty simple to make, right? And we're going to pop that right on the top of our pear up here, just to kind of cover up the fact that I didn't use the little stem. I just felt like this would be a great way to add this on and kind of accent this pear. And again, this is like artistic work, right? It's not like, we're not doing like live pear fruit drawings. We are just being artistic and cute with our cards and so on. I may need to trim up the ends a little bit. Okay, and the last thing I added was some bling to this one. So let me get rid of some of my scraps here. And I can't wait to see your comments on this one. This one's actually might be my favorite pear card. I'm going to say that. This one's probably, yes, my favorite pear card. Now we're going to use some embellishments here. This is the muted palette dots. You're going to see that we have petal pink. We have, this is probably daffodil. This is kind of a mossy color. I don't know, it's almost a different shade. I'm not sure, I'm gonna have to look those up. What's missing here is cloud cover. And the cloud cover, the whole section of cloud cover is missing because in my in color club, we feature the in colors and everybody got some cloud cover dots. And so I cut all those off and they're gone, but I love the cloud cover color. And so if you get a pack of these, cloud cover will be here. Now, because cloud cover is a current 2025-27 in color, I believe that this pack of embellishments will be on that in color sale that starts tomorrow. So again, all the products with in colors in them are going to be on sale. How cute is this one? I really like this card a lot. I'm just really happy. Oh, you know what I just realized I didn't do with you, and I do apologize for that because I don't know which one I like better actually. So in this card right here, you may remember that we use the little splotchy stamp. I'm looking for it. Oh my goodness, I have so many stamps out. I can't find it right now anyway. Nope, here it is. Okay, this little splotchy stamp, we use this on the hello part of our card. So we used it over here, this little splotchy right here. So you can also use it in your pears. So I used it with Flirty Flamingo, and I stamped some, I stamped on, I stamped off a little bit on my pears. Now on this card, I did not add those little polka dotted splotchies. So here's one with, here's one without. So just going to show you some different variations without meaning to like forget that step. But this one I'm not going to go back through and do because that's probably not going to work well. So now it's just kind of more of like a which one do you like better, with or without the little splotchies. It is just an extra detail if you like to stamp. It's always fun to continue to stamp. So there we go. Card, again, peek at card number 2. Card number 3. Okay, Jess loves card number 3. I like it too. Julie says, oh, Julie, that is high praise for you to like the color on this card because, first of all, it's not blue. And we all know blue is the best color ever to make cards with, except for pink. Now, I know not everyone's a pink fan, and I know that pink is like the perfect pear color ever. The pink is the best pear color, best color you can use for your Perfectly Pears card kits. So you're getting, so this is kind of a look at some more in color. This is Strawberry Slush. This will all, so ribbon should be on sale. The two-tone cardstock should be on sale. And I want to just show you this because this is really awesome. This is a petal, I'm sorry, this is Pretty in Pink card base. These two pieces right here are actually the same color, but it's two-tone cardstock. Are you guys loving two-tone cardstock as much as I am? I think when I get done using it so much, you're gonna love it too. If you don't love it now, just wait longer, you're gonna love it. So look at all of the tones. This is the same piece right here, but this one's coming to you embossed, okay? So you could of course use that, but I like the contrast. I like having the hues of the pink here. Now you're also getting some gingham paper. I'm a fan of the gingham. This, again, if you wanted to use this, you could. This is from the Wildflower Birthday Celebration DSP. It's a specialty, so it's got the gold foil in it. These are parts of your card kit. You're getting all kinds of white pieces because there's some work to do, and I'm sad to say that I didn't get as much work done as I wanted to. What did I get done? Anything? Oh, I got some things done. Those are my cheater parts right there. Okay, so you may be wondering, how are we working with this with the pears? Well, first of all, I want to remind you that in the Perfectly Pears stamp set, there's also flowers. There's a flower right here. It's a small flower. It's probably, you could use it with the stems and do a pear blossom thing and all that kind of stuff, right? We've done the pears. We did the big pears. We did the little pears. We're going to work with flowers on this one. And this is just going to change it up to something completely different. Michelle likes number 3 too. Okay, so here's our pink card. Here is our floral card. So we're using the flowers, and we're using our two-tone cardstock, and we're creating a really pretty pink card. We started with Pretty in Pink, but we also added Strawberry Slush, and this is what we're going to get when we put all of these things together. So we are going to get going on this because this one has a bit of work to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this. This is Glass and Gardens embossing folder. Those are the minis, so they look like, oh, let's see. They look similar to this. Fun fact: I lost the flower one. I lost in my in my craft room for about like 10 minutes today. That was super handy. So you get a 2-pack of these Glass and Gardens embossing folders. So I love both designs, but on this card we're using the floral one, so you can see it right there. But they are skinny minis. They're kind of a thinner embossing folder. All right, so I'm going to bring in a small blending brush. This card will require Memento ink and Strawberry Slush. That's all we're using for this one. We're going to start with Strawberry Slush. And remember, this is Strawberry Slush two-tone cardstock. This is the lighter side. And we're just going to kind of come in here and we're going to accent the beautiful embossing that's on here, just like so. So we're just going to lightly brush some ink on here, bringing that detail kind of to the front and center. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Love all of the tones here. Lots of pinks on this one. Okay, so there it is, just like that. And as I'm doing this, I want you to keep in mind, we could completely do this in blue or purple. For all of my fans out there, they're like, wait a minute, pink is not the color, but I do love this card. I think it's really pretty. All right, so the next thing that's so much fun about the two-tone emboss or two-tone cardstock is we're actually going to rip it. So like I know some of you are like, no, you can't possibly. If you don't want to rip it, go ahead and put it onto your card base just like this. But you're going to see this fun ripped feature down here. It adds some interest, and I'm always about interest, right? So we're just going to go ahead and rip some of this off, and it's going to give us this white core. Doesn't matter how jagged it is, right? So it's going to give us this white core. And then this piece right here, when you flip it over, you're going to see that it's darker, also still embossed. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to turn both of them over. So this is the back side. This is now the back side. And we're going to put a little bit of glue along the bottom. This is how we're going to get those fun layers. So we're putting this one on here. Oh, I probably should have gone a little bit closer to the bottom. My bad. Okay, we're going to try that again. We're going to bring this down here, and we're going to kind of catch the bottom this way. We're going to line it up across. Hopefully it's working out well. There we go. It's not my best job, but you get the idea, right? So you're getting the darker tone here. So it's kind of like petticoat layers. We'll call it petticoat layers. And depending on how high you rip it, like I probably could have ripped it up a little bit higher, you're going to get different heights to your layers here. It will still fit on the card base. So if you want to rip it up a little bit more, rip it up. Do it, do it, do it. All right, we're going to go ahead and put these layers on before we add on that piece. And I do like the darker strawberry slush versus the lighter. So you can see here the lighter is really, really light. Now if you like a lighter pink, whoops, that moved with my the glue on my finger is where that went. So if you like a lighter pink, you can definitely do that. I do like the pop of dark. I feel like this card needs, this way, a little bit more dark. And I'm going to definitely glue this down. This has got a lot of yellow tone in it. If this was white, it might look pretty, but it's not quite what I wanted when I had this card design in mind. I could have just picked that up and move this around with my fingers real quick because it's the glue, right? We have a quick minute to do that. All right, so those are going to mat across there. This is going to fit across the width of your card base. So go ahead and add your adhesive. This can go up or down however high you want it to be. I tend to kind of work in thirds. And how did I do? Wow, look at that. Almost exactly. It's probably about almost a 3/4 inch spot right there in case you're like, wait, how high? For all of my math friends out there that are like, wait a minute, how did we do that? Now you can use edges if you want, similar to how I did the other one, but this is a smaller piece, so I feel comfortable kind of adding in these regular size dimensionals. And I did add a couple right over top of the lines where the two cardstocks meet. So it kind of just gives it a little bit more stability there. Besides the glue, I feel like the glue holds really well. Anyway, so there we go. So we're just going to pop these off. This is going to get popped up onto our card base. And I've got it kind of a little bit more toward the right. You can go toward the left. You can keep it in the center, however you want. But look how pretty the beginnings of this card is. I just think it's gorgeous. And this is definitely one, because it's pretty monotone in color, right? We've got all the pinks on this one. It would be gorgeous in blues or purples, maybe even yellow. I'm gonna go out there and say maybe even yellow. All right, so with all of these parts and pieces you have left, you have some die cutting to do, and you're going to do some stamping as well. So the taller white pieces that you're going to get in your kit, you're going to have to die cut your leaf twice. So you're going to have your leaf just like so. I got mine die cut already. So you've got papers to do that with. And what I'm going to recommend you do before you put these on your card base is I'm going to recommend you just cut this right off underneath the last leaf, because you don't need the stick part right here. This is not a branch. This is just leaves now. So just trim those off, and those are going to come onto your card base just like this. And they are going to overlap a little bit, so that's why you don't need those sticks sticking up, really, right? So you're going to do one up and one down. We're going to glue those on there if I can get them back off. And just a little bit of adhesive on this is plenty. And then we're going to go ahead and put this along the edge of this embossed and raised up piece. So I'm just going to try to catch that on there. And then we're going to go ahead and pop the bottom one on. A little bit of adhesive. This one's going to come this way, so upside down, right? But it's meeting in the middle. This is where I'm going to turn this over and just rub it from the back for a second, because that way I'm not catching all the glue. I feel like my hands are sticky enough, and they're definitely inky enough, right? Ooh, there we go. So there it is, just like that. So you can see where that step has taken us. So we have die cut those. Those are good to go. This is what you've got left for cardstock. You've got a couple pieces here. Let me move these out of the way. I get myself all confused. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring in your Memento ink on these two pieces. And I cut them to this size only because I don't want the card stock to stick out of your envelope too tall, because then it runs the risk of being damaged in the mail, right? So I'm going to chop them down for you a little bit. But you're going to be able to get 4 flowers, and we're doing this in Memento because we're going to color with blends. So this is blends coloring, and we are going to die cut them, and we're going to have 4 of these. Now there's only 1 die, so there's a little bit of die cutting. And I'm sorry I didn't get this colored ahead either, but I am a quick colorer because I don't take too much time to do that. Now this is an interesting stamp right here. There's 3 little floral centers, right? So there is 3 flowers here. The flower that sticks out right here, so you've got 2 on top of each other, the flower that sticks out has the center that's off to the side. So because it took me a minute to figure that out, and then you can just get those on there. So you just have to keep in mind where that goes. And if they aren't perfect, it's okay, because this is nature, right? Pretty sure some of the flowers in nature are not also perfect. So you can see here where they would line up kind of and catch the center. And I did them in black because I felt like it was very showy. Like of course you could do it in different colors if you wanted to. So we're going to pretend those are all die cut, because here they are right here. Unfortunately, they're not all colored. So I'm going to do some super quick scribbling. This other white piece will be, of course, for your sentiment piece. And the colors I use, because you're like, wait, how did you color those? All pinks, of course. Move some stuff aside here. So I started out with light, pretty, and pink on a couple of them. So I'm just going to scribble on here really quickly, and we're just going to add some pink color here. And I mean like really quickly. I'm not adding any green on here. I'm just adding all pinks. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 of them, because I did 2 this way, and then I did 2 in the darker colors. Now you can use any combination of colors. I started with the pretty and pink, and to be honest, I felt like the pretty and pink blend looks kind of peachy pink to me. It doesn't look bubblegum pink. Well, maybe not bubblegum pink. It doesn't look ballerina pink. It's not quite the pretty and pink that I wanted. So I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'm over pretty and pink. Then I brought in strawberry slush. It took me a minute to find my strawberries. My strawberry slush blends were not easily found. Let me just say that. I really need to do some more organizing. So I really doctored these up quite a bit with the strawberry slush. This one is the dark strawberry, by the way, and I'm just going to add in some lines along, kind of make up my own thing here as I go, kind of from the center outward. Again, nothing super fancy on my coloring. You guys are the best artists in the world. So you can see here that I doctored up these beautiful, well, this one's not even die cut well, but I doctored them up a little bit so they're kind of more two-tone. Now for the next one, I started with light strawberry slush. So we're going to do the light strawberry slush on the next 2. This was, I did this and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the tone, this is a nice deeper pink tone. It's interesting how all of the tones, they're just so different, right? I grabbed out Melon Mambo. If you have Melon Mambo, you can try Melon Mambo. I wasn't really happy with Melon Mambo. It wasn't the tone that I was looking for. So I went right back to Strawberry Slush, and we're going to doctor up our Strawberry Slush with another color too, because I do like to use different colors, and I like them to be a contrast as well. Like you can see on the first ones with the pretty and pink, and then the strawberry slush, you can really see that there's 2 colors of ink. And I think on my sample card, hopefully you can see the dark color on this light strawberry slush. Okay, so we're done with that. Done. Maybe a little bit more right there. Okay. And now I'm going to bring in the dark cherry cobbler. So this is going to give us a nice contrast here on our strawberry slush, kind of like we did on the first ones, giving us that kind of candy cane striped. Just really pretty. I love, actually, like this is my favorite combination right here, is these darker colors. I just feel like it's really pretty. And I'm just kind of scribbling outwards a little bit just to do some, you know, some accent pieces there. So there's a combination of those. You can use any of the lights or darks that you like. It's all going to work well. And then we're going to go ahead and put these on. Now when we layer these on, I'm going to just, and again, if you're at home doing this and you want to do this one light, this one dark, this one light, this one dark, this one, you know, mix them up. I just, because I like to kind of go fast, I didn't want to mix them up. I just wanted to like get them done, right? We're going to get it done. But it is really pretty. In my defense, it's also really pretty. So when I put these on here, I mixed up kind of how they're going to go in order. And I also left a spot deliberately for my bow, which is already made. So I'm putting the bow like right here. So I'm kind of arranging the flowers up and down a little bit to make sure that my bow will kind of fit in the middle. I did add these on with dimensionals. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one big one for the top here, and just make sure your leaves still. So there's a lot of space here where the leaves don't show, so take advantage of leaves and then putting those somewhere that you're going to see the leaves, see the flowers. And I'm going to put a small dimensional on this one. This is where I'm like, you want both sizes, right? So the small one is going to go on here. That way if I want to move this up or down and kind of overlap, the big dimensional is not going to bump into each other because they do take up more room. I'm going to do the same thing starting down here. I'm going to start with a big dimensional. I'm going to pop this one on here, and then I'm leaving that space on purpose for my bow. Now if you're not going to put a bow on there, you can spread these out. You could even add another flower in if you wanted to. Again, leaving the leaves showing as much as possible, kind of overlapping my flowers just like that. How cool and awesome. We're going to add the ribbon on, and then we have to add in our sentiment piece. I've got little dimensional backings like magnetically stuck to my skin. They're so attracted to me. Okay, I'm just going to fix my bow a little bit maybe. I might need to adjust this one. Which way do I want my bow to go? This way or this way? This way. It'll lay flatter. Okay. So I like to use the tear and tape. I feel like it just helps to hold everything nicely. I'll squish that around a little bit. Tear and tape, bow at a nice little angle. We're going to trim that just a little bit here because this is really long. And I want to go this way. Okay, there we go. Super cute. Oh, my little, I knocked that right off of there. Look at that. Okay, so I've got stuff everywhere. This is how I feel. I feel a little scrambled. And you've got one last piece of white paper. That you're going to die cut your label from this set right here. And if I can do this well, I've got the strawberry slush ink, and we're going to find congratulations. I felt like this was like a really nice congratulations card. I also feel like this would be a great happy birthday card. Now there is not a happy birthday sentiment in the stamp set, but I feel like it would be a really nice one. So you're going to do your congratulations. It's going to come on here with dimensional, and then I've got some really sweet, again, the minis are going to work best here. I've got some really sweet embellishments, and those embellishments that I'm going to use are the 25-27 in color. I think they're called pearls, flat pearls, shimmer pearls. Maybe it's flat shimmer pearls. I'll grab those in just a second as we put them on. Those also should be on sale starting tomorrow for the month of August, 15% off. We'll take every savings we can get, right? And so make sure you're checking out the in color sale. You'll be able to get your card class in the mail. I might have to come down a little bit lower on this one. My ribbon, unless I switch up my ribbon, maybe I'll put this up here. Okay, congratulations. I wanted to kind of sneak it in here a little bit. So yes, your order will also qualify you for the card kits. It'll get you a ticket into my grand prize drawing, my sweet summer send-off celebration. These are again our 2025-27 in color flat pearls. They have like a little shimmery shine to them too, which I think is great. And we'll just remove the dimensional backing. That is not attractive on your card. I don't recommend those. Okay, so we're going to put these ones up here. So we've got that great contrast of pretty and pink along with the strawberry slush, which is so gorgeous, right? So there we go. There's our card here. This is our congratulations card, non-pear card. We're calling this the non-pear card. So let's take a look at all of the cards from, I just looked over and saw Julie's. Maybe we need a pink intervention. Julie, you crack me up. You crack me up. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to say that probably this pink card is not Julie's favorite, by the way. But here's all of the cards that we do have from our class tonight. So you can see here, we've got a lovely array of pears that are not necessarily green. I didn't want to just do all green and yellow cards, right? I mean, this one has green, this one has yellow, but you can see the arrangement of gorgeous colors going on here. Lots of them. I always ask you, which one is your favorite? Which one do you love the most? There's just so many different choices. I really do like this version of this card, so I'm kind of hiding the other corner because I like this one better. But yes, this is the class. It is a gorgeous class. All of the pears. Jess says card number 3 is her favorite. I think so too. Card 3. You guys are loving card 3. That is so awesome. I also love card number 3. I think that's my favorite too, believe it or not. And I did the pink one with the flowers just to show you something different, because sometimes people get fixated on, oh, this is just about pears, but it's really not. It's got bonus flowers in it, and I think that we use flowers the most. So I just wanted to showcase those flowers. I feel like they're probably going to get skipped quite a bit as people are having fun with all the two-step stamping with the pears. There's so many shading variations that you can do with the pears, so that's really obviously the focus of this set, but I wanted to change it up a little bit. Now I will be creating 6 more pear cards for Card Maker Club in August. So if you're a fan of the pears and you're interested in checking out my Card Maker Club, you can sign up for that through August 20th. And you actually, it's like a mini stamp camp in the mail. You get some product, you get 6 different card kits, and this will all be featuring the pear, I think it's called Painterly Pear Suite. So I'll be sharing some more information on that soon. In the meanwhile, don't forget the in-color sale starts tomorrow. Every $50 order increment in my store is going to get you a ticket to that really awesome shopping spree. The shopping spree will be for the month of September, when the new catalog, the fall mini, and new online exclusives come out. Tomorrow there will also be 3 brand new kits in the Stampin' store, so make sure as you're shopping, check out all of the options that you've got there, because there's so many options for some really great product. All right. The red pear and the yellow pears are very nice, Julie. I totally agree with you. That's awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining me. Back to the class. I don't even know what time it is. My clock in my craft room, can you guys see that? The clock in my craft room has been broken. I changed the battery. It's not working. I need a new clock. I'm in a time warp here. I don't even know what time it is. Anyway, thank you for joining me for this class. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, or just reach out and message me, send me an email, all the good things. I will be sharing all of these cards on Facebook this week. You'll see them in my emails as well, in case you're looking for great pictures of them that you can share to Pinterest. I have some really great pictures, so jump on the email list if you haven't done that. And I will see you again for the next class. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I appreciate you guys so much. Take care now. Till next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye.